25 times calm people lost their shit. According to Reddit. Number 25. I grew up on a farm, and one day several cows decided that since their head could fit through a small hole in a gate, then their whole body could fit through the small hole in the gate. This resulted in a broken gate. A cow stuck in the broken gate, several cows roaming freely in a field after escaping through the broken gate, and me absolutely...
Slapping on some toast.
Thank you, Sedasia, for that sponsor. I love you, Sedasia. And me losing my shit. I now work in IT. Cows are dumb. Cows are dumb, you know. Hello to Mama Big, Mama Bad. Sedasia, thank you again for the subscription. Stripes, thank you to Hannah for hosting. And let's get right into this. Number 24. In healthcare, you get yelled at a lot for stupid things. Where's my ginger ale? Fuck that doctor. He's an asshole for taking too long. But one patient crossed the line. She didn't like that I called the previous hospital that she was at the night before to get her records. She was at a hospital the night before? Maybe she was just moved. I called the hospital that she was at the night before so I could see what was done. It's legal and it's done all the time. Things aren't missed or repeated unnecessarily if we do so. And yes, she signed a release so that we could do it. She then came out of her room and threw a full styrofoam cup of her urine at me. Dodged it by a millimeter, but it ruined a computer monitor. She then said, "Bitch, I'ma leave here and fuck up your family." Done. Shit lost. Screened for security, and personally put her back in her room with the help of every tech and nurse in the emergency department. 4-point restrained her for her out-of-control behavior that was a danger to the staff, and I called the police. Once we got the records from the previous hospital, we found out that she pulled the same act to a lesser degree the night before. After she was medically cleared, the police took her to jail, and my final words to her were, "Good luck in the clink. They love the urinators there." She was charged with battery and given jail time for that and multiple parole violations. Too long didn't read? Someone threw their urine on me, and I sent their ass to jail. Justice served. The Kyle channel would like to express my condolences for anybody who may have been urinated upon, unless unfortunately that may be your kink. What a crazy and wild world we live in, where some people would enjoy that, you know? But hey, to each their own. I guess you guys aren't hurting anybody with what you're into. But she should have got charged for threatening too. What the fuck you mean you coming after me and my whole family? The first thing I would say if somebody yelled that at me is, "Who heard that? Somebody heard that?" You heard her say that, right? Oh my God. Look, once we establish that there's nothing like mentally wrong with this bitch, she need to get all of the charges. All the charges. Number 23. In secondary school, a girl sitting next to me kept emptying my pencil case onto the floor and laughing with her friends about it. So, I punched her on the top of the head, sort of like a lever coming down. She cried and I got detention, but that was fine. Looking back, she probably fancied me. But you mess with my whispers, you get the lever thump. I'm 30 now, But if you empty my pencil case onto the floor, I'll still take a detention for a good downward thump. My man. You know, this is the way you should, sometimes the time for diplomacy, has come and gone. Some people think they could just get away with some shit. Sometimes you just gotta teach them a lesson, you dumb bitch. That's my pencil case, bitch. Who the fuck do you think you are? Number 22. My dad was in the hospital after having a stroke. I was 14 at the time, and still in school. This absolute little shit of a kid kept going on about how my dad was gonna die, that he deserved it. Okay. I put up with him all morning, but at lunch, he cornered me. Normally, I took all the beatings and bullying, but not that day. That day, I lost my shit. I don't remember what happened. This motherfucker blacked out. But apparently it took 3 adults to pull my 14-year-old 100-pound body off of him. I regret nothing. Fucking nothing. He didn't mess with me after that. Sounds like somebody. Excuse me. Learned a lesson. Forgive my early morning body. As we continue up to number 21. Back in school, tiny lockers stacked right next to each other. Locker neighbor would always close mine while I was fishing through my backpack. Went on every day for the whole year. He thought it was funny. Last day of school, I'd had it. I punched him across the neck. He didn't do it the next year, and didn't bother telling any adult because he knew he was an asshole. He knew it. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. The guy who wants money says, "These kids sound like cartoon bullies. Lol. I didn't know there were people this mean. Then your experience in the world is incomplete. In time, you will understand the depths of human cruelty. Recently, a YouTuber drove 100 miles per hour down the wrong side of the road. He wanted to take his own life, but the comedy was, apparently he was too ignorant or self-absorbed to consider that maybe other people want to keep their lives. Just because you're a piece of shit, cum stain, dick gargler. Gargling them dicks in and out of your dreams, in reality, and also at bedtime, it seems. You suck. So you gotta take other people down kicking and screaming. Fucked up. Number 20. As a surgeon, I try to remain calm and steady about most everything. Even all the staff comments about it, and how I'm most calm surgeon that they ever met now. Okay. One time, taking out someone's gallbladder, the assistant needs to grab it and hold it so I can free stuff up. The newer person was helping me and moving a little too fast without seeing where their instrument was going before grabbing the gallbladder. When the camera finds their grasper, they end up poking a small hole in the liver. I let out an audible sigh and a small grumble, ended up not bleeding all that much, and the rest of the surgery went fine. One of these days, I want to throw instruments like some other people I know, just to see how people will react. Y'all out here fucking up people's, like that. The scariest part of having something wrong with you is that you gotta, oh my God, y'all don't even know. But let me just say it like this. Let me just say it like this. Back in Kyle's day, we played games like Halo, like Call of Duty. And let me tell it to you like this. Yeah, Halo was pretty, I want to say, the playing field was level. Okay? You have a level playing field. This means that everybody's going in with more or less the same, and it's really about who's gonna do better first, or which team has the better people on it, essentially. Okay? In Halo, in Call of Duty, sometimes you can get out of there by just being a guy that kicks a lot of ass and does it fast. Kick a lot of ass and do that fast. But today, in pretty much every game that you play, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, Battlefield, a lot of these games that you're playing, they're very team oriented. And it doesn't really matter how dope you can be as a single motherfucker. If your team sucks ass, you're going to be paying for it. You're going to be paying for their shortcomings. You are legit now as strong as your weakest link. And that's all well and good in a goddamn video game, baby. But can you imagine something going wrong inside your body, and now you are forced to put your life in someone else's hands? Someone who, maybe would not put the same amount of passion or attention into this job as they might if you were a loved one or someone that, they cared about immensely. This is a job to them. And maybe they ain't been running on a good amount of sleep. Maybe a lot of these people are new as fuck because, they fresh out of school or whatever. Oh my God. It's horrifying. But let's continue. Number 19. My friend, who is usually a chill person, had some girl make fun of her brother who was killed, and she ended up beating the shit out of her, smashing her face into a wall, and getting kicked out of school for it. Worth it. I want this girl's number. Number 18. I worked at a theater, spelled with the R before the E. Delicious. I saw a father pressing his child's head down to get him below the minimum height to not have to pay for a ticket. The child was in pain. Ended up in a screaming match with the dad. There's really a height limit instead of an age limit for your fucking theater. That's funny. And an old man was pushing a little nigga's head down like, hey, get over here. Get your head down. Get it in that neck. Dad, pinch the nerves. Why are you doing this to me, Dad? Unpinch that nerve. Fucking parents. Number 17. A kid bit me on the chest in kindergarten. I waited till after nap time to run him over with my tricycle. Showed that little motherfucker. That's how you showed that little motherfucker. Number 16. In high school, we had a friend who had chosen to be a little more promiscuous than others. We honestly didn't care. Besides enjoying sex, her personality was entirely the same. However, it's high school, so one girl in particular took it upon herself to often shame and tell this girl she was a slut. You're a slut. You're a slut. We would always stick up for her, be the bigger person, and walk away. Except one day, this girl decided to shove through our group, knocking said friend over, causing her to hurt herself. She laughed, called her a slut, and spit on her. Good God. I completely lost my shit, grabbed the girl by the hair as she walked away, and yanked it. Then screamed at her that she's a hateful person because her mom chose crack. Well, hello, Helsing interviews. And thank you for the follow, my man. I completely lost my shit, grabbed the girl by the hair as she walked away, yanked it, and then screamed at her that she's a hateful person because her mom chose crack over her. Then, as I walked away, I pushed the door open so hard that when she tried to follow me, it swung back and hit her in the face. She stopped calling my friend a slut after that. Not my proudest moment. And I have not ever used physical violence or information that's meant to be private against another person again. Ooh, the crack shit was real. Ooh, that crack shit was real. No. You know you gotta roast her mom 'cause she's all about the crack, bro, in the heat of the night. So much crack tonight. Chief Ramirez says. That actually says Chief Ramirez. Strange. I doubt Ramirez is your actual name, dude. Did you misspell your own name, making a username? That's okay. I'm sure you have other things that make you a special person. I'm sure you make up for those shortcomings in the battles you've lost with your keyboard. I know my own name, Kyle. Hey, Kyle, says Chief Ramirez, but it's probably not his real name. If I never hear one of your videos again, I can still say I'm a better person thanks to you. Love you. And everyone on here. What a kind message. And I appreciate you for taking the time to leave it. Let's continue up this list of 25 times that calm people lost their shit. Number 15. Another unit lied to me about the condition the patient was in. I went into the supply room and screamed to vent at another nurse. Poor girl remains the only person at work to ever see me lose my shit. Aww. But still, that was like you releasing it. You know, that was just like you releasing it and then burst before it got worse. Gotta release and I burst before it get worse. We want to know people getting freaked out upon. You see what I'm saying? Number 14. This guy broke all of my markers back in middle school. I told the teacher and got him publicly embarrassed, but it wasn't over. I was holding my trumpet, and he kept messing with my hair. What a gay. He was messing with my hair at a concert, and just kept, like, touching me. I've always been known as a never being angry, but he did it again in a room without the teacher. I grabbed his leg when he kicked me, lifted it up, throwing him down. He never messed with me after that. Now that's what I'm talking about. Somebody's all like, tough. Number 3. In the military, we have a very large vehicle, or two. So there are rules when backing them up, like having people guide you from outside the vehicle. Well, this dipshit private decides to go ahead and back up the truck without any guides because there's no one around. There were actually 2 people around, myself and the guy standing where he was backing into. I screamed at the guy oblivious to the truck that was about to crush him to get out of the way, then went to the driver and lost my absolute shit. He cried. Aww. Somebody says, my ex-wife worked in a hospital on an Air Force base. There was an incident where someone wasn't following proper safety procedures and a young airman actually got crushed by one of those vehicles. He was rushed to the hospital. They called for her in to get some rush testing done since she worked in the lab and he was the best of bing bong. He died while she was drawing blood. Those big trucks are no fucking joke. Oy. That kind of sucks. Number 12. This guy at work was cleaning out the work break room. Basically, he was throwing out people's personal belongings. So I see my new coffee mug that I bought specifically for work in the trash, and I lost my damn mind. I start yelling at him that what he was doing was morally wrong, and it's not his shit to throw out. I went to HR manager and complained to him about the principle of the thing. I took all of the coffee mugs and the trash out and washed them. The good thing is, if you're a calm person 99% of the time, people are most likely to listen to you, and the 1% of the times when you lose it, man. Let me read that one more time. It's a good thing. Okay. Because if you are calm 99% of the time, then people are more likely to listen to you 1% of the time when you lose it. I don't like it phrased like that, but the bottom line is if everything isn't an emergency for you, then people will listen to you when it is an emergency. You know what I mean? It's kind of how, like, some parents would never be able to communicate to their kids outside of a text message that it's an emergency, you know? Whereas most parents should understand, if we ever call them more than twice in a row, it's an emergency. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Simple as that. Why the hell else would we be calling you? You know what I mean? Emergency. Oh boy. Pretty funny stuff. Helsing interview says, are you a voiceover artist? Yes. Wait, that's not even what that said. It said voice actor. Well, why not? Bing bong. Number 11. Back when I was working retail, I was manning the return desk when the woman comes into return. Okay. She wants to return 2 totes full of clearance clothes. Oh no. She wants to rebuy them all since clearance stuff was now cheaper. That's against the rules, and I explain why, but as per usual, she gets a manager and the manager caves in to her requests. Since she bought this stuff on 3 different receipts and mixed them all up with this transaction, it's fixing to take 30 minutes at least, and I am frustrated but hiding it well. 15 minutes into this, I hear some commotion off to the side. I turn my head and see this woman's 5 or so completely unsupervised kids have piled onto a flat cart and are pushing it around. I don't know why it set me off so bad, but I pointed and yelled at them, raising my voice for the first and last time during my 10-year stint. The entire place fell silent, and the customer was so mad at her kids that she took her stuff and left. A couple of coworkers said seeing me angry was really unsettling, a blessing/curse that comes with being the quiet one, I guess. Well, there you go. There you go. Stripe says, I forgot to leave a link on the Discord. Yeah, I'm going to be the one to start doing that from now on, I think. But I'm not sure that a lot of people from the Discord come to watch ye. Number 10. As a junior developer, I spent 3 weeks trying to fix a system that made custom PDFs of financial records from an HTML template and a handful of JSON in C#, English, motherfucker. Alone, as by bizarre confluence of circumstances, the rest of my team was absent the entire time. Oh boy, tell an anecdote like you've got some pussy in your motherfucking life. That's right. I'm calling you a virgin bitch. Make this entertaining. I got to the end of it, battered, bruised, half insane from stress, but still calm and smiling, not least because I had somehow pulled it off. You know who needs to pull something off? A woman, as it pertains to your genitals, you fucking hard up virgin. Wonder if Twitch is going to come after me for making fun of virgins. That is their life choice, Kyle, and you can't just say whatever you want to say about them on your stupid little video. And then the product owner asked me how I'd implement some support for multiple signatories using the system simultaneously. Let me just scroll down to the point where he loses his shit. I lost my shit. Emails were written, some by me, some by superiors from different sections of the business defending me. The PO was fired unceremoniously. It was her 3rd strike for fucking up. Oh, so a woman fucked up. Oh, she should have just shut up. And new policies were put in place to prevent this kind of thing from happening again. Overnight, I literally became the precautionary tale for anyone wanting to break from protocol. Well, she didn't follow the rules either. Bitch didn't follow protocol. Oh, damn, that protocol exists for a reason. Yo, hoe ass. Yo, bro, follow that protocol. Number 9. When my ex-wife's stepbrother, told us a story about how he killed his neighbor's cat for fun. That's serial killer shit right there, dude. And here's the thing. Kids are cruel, okay? Kyle is well aware of this. I am super duper aware that kids are cruel. So, and again, this is, I want to say, not to, jack my own dick off, but I'd say this is what separates me from a lot of other YouTubers, is the fact that I'm aware of the real world in which we live. Yeah, kids kill animals all the time, as fucked up as it is, because kids are cruel, and children specifically test the boundaries of what is and isn't okay. Some of these kids do shit that they don't know better about until they learn that it's not all right. And yeah, some of them should have the, let's call it, wherewithal to know that, scooping up a little animal and killing that motherfucker is not a good thing to do. But sometimes kids just fucking do it, Sometimes kids just fucking do it. But at the bottom, the worst part is, typically after some shit like that goes down, they develop the understanding that that wasn't right. That was something that had life, and then because of your actions has life no more. And if they understand and embrace that that's not okay, then they should understand that it's not something to gloat or boast about. Do you get what I'm saying? For some of these kids, it's probably just a rite of passage to take some of these animals' lives, right? But you should know better than to be running up to no motherfucking mountaintop talking about, ladies and gentlemen, a cat this morning thought that there would be days in its life remaining, but let me tell you, I was there, and there were no lives left for this cat. That's a joke about a cat having 9 lives. You get what I'm saying. Rolling up to number 8. When they brought the 3rd sales manager in, wait, you didn't finish this one. This is a very short entry, you didn't finish it. Anyway, my ex-wife's stepbrother told us a story about how he killed his neighbor's cat for fun. And this is probably a grown dude. Ugh. And then lied to his neighbor about not having seen it. What a scumbag. What a scumbag. What a skibbledy scrim dewdrop skidap bap bap diddly doop badow. Number 8. When they brought the 3rd sales manager in for hours into my 90-minute timeshare presentation. Bruh, you the one signed up for that. Number 7. I'd been dealing with listening to my dad and his ex-girlfriend have screaming matches, and occasionally getting dragged into it for like a year. They started it up again one evening, and she addressed me, demanding me answer something or another to fuel her argument against my dad. I was just trying to play my game, probably playing Fortnite at the time, and I just kind of snapped and screamed, I don't know, and I don't care, I'm tired of your fighting. It wasn't much, but I've never raised my voice ever, and I think it just kind of stunned both of them into silence. She walked out of the house. Lol. Gomi says Amanda killed animals when she was a kid. She feels terrible about it now. But when she was a child, she had the fire in her eyes. The fire that would engulf and envelop these animals' lives. The fire in Amanda's eyes engulfed these animals' lives. She's just walking down the street, and this little animal's all like, meow, and she's all like, all right, stop, Kyle. Jesus Christ. Come on, man. All right. Number 6. My wife was due to give birth on a date that I had trial. Oh, I'm an attorney. The state attorney's office refused to consent to a continuance, insisting that they were going to be ready for trial that day. The date comes, I go to the courthouse and find out that the SAO doesn't have one of their witnesses and is asking for a continuance. Needless to say, I lost my fucking shit arguing against them receiving such a continuance when they had failed to subpoena a witness or make any effort to contact said witness by their own admission. The judge, of course, allowed them to have a continuance, and I swore I'd never practice in that court again. It's one around here for being especially friendly to the prosecution, to the point of absurdity, and where the SAO is known to engage in constitutionally questionable evidentiary practices. My wife gave birth the next day, and I've never been back to the jurisdiction. The state ultimately dropped charges against my client because they didn't have a critical witness. Nice. Dropped charges, baby. Legalize the weed, baby. Don't kill the animals, Amanda. I'm kidding. Number 5, baby Amanda. When someone's kid at Golden Corral decided to put their hands in food containers, and they did nothing about it. It would kill you people to watch your damn kids. Somebody said reason number 2 million not to eat at Golden Corral. Somebody said I'd go ahead and assume the Golden Corral buffet is contaminated at all times, whether you see it or not. Somebody said assume all buffets are. That's the worst part. It's like, here it is. You go to a restaurant where it's like nice. You know what I mean? I'm talking upper, like, you know what I'm talking about. Some bing bong tier restaurants. Even that is not safe. I know nobody's trying to hear this, but sometimes I swear that when I wake up, if I had a human-shaped jar of Kyle that I could just fill it with snot, where's it all coming from? You know what I mean? Where's it all coming from? Number 4. It was Halloween and I was sitting out in front of my house watching my sister take my niece, who was around 4, trick-or-treating. The people who lived with us, we lived in a maisonette, decided to shoot a firework at them. This is the only time I've lost my shit. I got them inside the house and made sure they were alright. Sister had only a few non-serious burns on her arm and managed to shield my niece from the explosion. At that point, I was just so angry I went up to their door, started banging on it, demanding that they come out. They didn't answer, so I started trying to kick the door in. My mom and brother dragged me away and back inside to calm down. Half an hour later, the police arrived because my neighbors had called them about me. Luckily, after we explained what had actually happened, I didn't get in any trouble, but neither did they. But the kid had burns on him. Y'all must have been black. You poor people. You know? And I'm just, of course, guys, there are scenarios in the world where, white people don't get justice either. But I like the idea that if they were white, and somebody shot firecrackers at a child, and there was evidence via burns, my dude, that something would be fucking done about it. Oh, Lord. Number 3. I was always a really quiet kid, even as a toddler apparently, so one of the first times I remember losing my shit was when I got really tired of this 3rd grader picking on me on the bus. I was in kindergarten and this kid kept popping his head over my seat and poking me. I timed it out, and next time he did it, I punched him straight in the nose, which he immediately started bleeding and crying. Oh. I didn't know it at the time, but apparently this kid's parents tried to get some disciplinary action against me. That was until they found out that I wasn't the same age or older. They didn't want to make a big stink out of their kid getting bitch slapped by a kindergartner. Ooh, you sure as hell don't. Ooh, bitch, you just got fucked a laptop. by a kindergartner. Ooh, fucked you up. You know, I had the things all set up to play piano with a string quartet for a wedding ceremony in the church. This is number 2. The grand piano was up front near the couple, and the organ was in the rear to be used later. My organ's not in my rear, but you guys can use it if you want. Ooh, yeah, zoot, baby. When I entered the church, I found the florist had placed a large vase of roses on the grand piano. You like vase? You want me to read that again as vase? I just want to please everybody. When I entered the church, I found that the florist had placed a large vase of roses on the grand piano, using the sheet music for the string quartet underneath the vase to absorb the water. Bitch, are y'all stupid? Like, is this bitch stupid? Like, the sheet music that is the music that the person needs to play? Are you kidding? Rarely do I lose my cool, but I did at that time. Members of the string quartet told him in no uncertain terms where he could stick those roses as they tried to salvage their soaked music scores. You idiot. What a dumb bitch. You know it was a broad. I'm sorry. That's rude, but I mean, come on. Where he could stick. He's a woman man, though. You heard me. Come at me, man. He's a woman man. He's a woman man. Yeah, I've got to go like explode my nose or just like, you know, sit underwater that's boiling until everything. God. Guys, I love you. I'm sorry. Number 1. My 7th fucking trip to the DMV when trying to reinstate my license. Every single time they scrutinized my paperwork and always managed to find something wrong and would send me away to fix it. On the 7th trip, oh my God. On the 7th trip, they finally resorted to, you have no proof that you ever had a license, despite my piles of paperwork showing my driving record, among others. I refused to leave the seat and they said, you people are fucking monsters. A manager was called, we argued. He said he believed that I had a license, but there was just no proof, and he couldn't risk accepting my paperwork in case someone checked it. I said I refused to leave the seat until I knew exactly what was needed. The manager said, tell you what, I can contact the last state you lived in and could get a verification that I had a license there. It would take 3 minutes. That's when I yelled in the DMV, why wasn't that the first fucking thing you said? Anyway, I got my license back. Ah, the DMV. Capable of sending even the most calm people into a rage. Oh, guys. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. And that things work out for you. What the hell is this? Let me guess. Your home? It was. And it was beautiful. Oh my God. Oh my God. This needs to be goddamn. This needs to be animated, my dude. This needs to be animated. Oh man, that's great. All right, love you, Sadeja. Have a wonderful day, Ramirez. Hey Kyle, guess who spent 10 minutes fixing their name on here? That's me. Oh my God, I was right. I was right. Feels good. Stripe says I have a browser game for you. Throw that into the Discord, and I will play it tonight. For the mainstream. Love you to death. Gotta get some shit done. Take it easy, guys. I believe in you. Stay amazing. Love you.